Tension in Ondo as hoodlums take over the streets, destroy palace of the traditional ruler. There was a pandemonium in Ondo State as hoodlums invaded the streets, killing 2 persons while the palace of the traditional ruler was also destroyed. According to reports which was given by the Punch newspaper, the attack happened in nsīøn community in Akure North local government area. Properties worth millions of naira were also destroyed, while the 2 persons who were killed are yet to be identified at the moment. The state police relations officer, Mr. Te Leo Ikoro, confirmed the incidents to the Punch newspapers. The issue of insecurity is getting out of hand with the rate at which attacks are happening in the country. Yesterday in Lagos, 2 businessmen were also killed as hoodlums invaded the streets. In Ogun, thugs invaded the House of Assembly and carted away with the mace of legislature. For now, it is advised to be very careful of the kind of places we go to during this festive season and avoid traveling at night. Wow. I mean, to be honest, it's getting worse. I mean, the news of insecurity in Nigeria has always been there, always been lingering. And I feel like it's gone on for too long where nothing has happened and things are still continuing. And to be honest, we can't just afford to just sit down and keep living in these kind of situations. Of course, I think the south of Nigeria is sort of detached when it comes to news like this because, of course we are in one country, but there's this sort of detachment because, for example, in the north, all these killings happening, we just sort of get desensitized to it. And, obviously we feel bad. Doesn't mean that, we're justifying the killings or whatever. But I think there's just a desensitization because we're so used to it that it becomes normal, which is absolutely weird and psychotic. It should not be. But that's how it is. So I feel like, if, this insecurity in the south becomes as bad as the north, then something drastic has to happen and it will happen. Of course, there are comments here. The first person says that the FG has failed us. Absolutely. But then somebody came and says here, your states have failed you. Stop trying to individualize or segment the problems. The fact is that the whole country is unsafe because of the incapability and incompetence of the government. Somebody says Buhari government is not ready to fight insurgency. Only God will help us under this APC-led government. The thing is, what do you mean only God will help us? You can believe what you want to believe, but the fact is we've been saying this since 100 years ago, 200 years ago. It obviously nothing has changed, and we have to be the ones to ignite change for something to happen. Somebody says, what is happening in the southwest of Nigeria is not something new. That is true, unless for those who were not born before the First Republic. At that time, this attitude of violence was introduced in the western region, which led to the first coup in Nigeria. It is time to declare state of emergency in this zone to clear all those devilish plans. Okay. Somebody says, we are leaving everything in the hands of God now because it seems to me that things are almost gone deeply and becoming above the security imagination. The fact is, I personally feel like leaving it to God, I think we've done that so much. And I feel like in this way, we sort of become, of course, I'm not trying to say that we can just go and protest. Obviously, trying to speak for our rights, literally see where that ended us, where they were killing people. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop to still vocalize what we want. Because at the end of the day, you saying that you leave it to God, nothing is going to happen until you make a change, until, people come together and make a change. So I feel like making these statements like this, we sort of put the government in a cushion, put them in a soft position for them to actually, not take responsibility and action for what they should. Because saying, let's leave it to God at this point, you're rendering yourself powerless. And I feel like, of course, believe what you want to believe. Yes, God can fight for you, but you have the common sense to try and do something in your power. Yes, I understand it can be demotivating sometimes, hearing the news mentally, just hearing how much the fight is, how much the resistance is. Of course it's fine, but I feel like the repetitive notion of we leave it to God, I feel like that sort of has to change. Someone says, make let us all come out and give them heat so they will know we the youth are angry. I feel like we need to be strategic about this, because to be honest, they've studied us for a long time. They understand, they've put so many tricks where, we have not reacted in a long time. So obviously, us reacting, they were not expecting that, for example, in the NSAS process. And I feel like, they were exposed. They were really exposed, and obviously all their mistakes came to light. I feel like we have to be strategic. I understand, and it's naive to say that, without any revolution, there have to be shed of blood. But I feel like at least to minimize it, we have got to be strategic on how we are actually gonna tackle this and raise our voices. I feel like, to be honest, social media is the most effective tool that we have to do this. Someone says, use these non-entities, they can't go to the forest and confront the Fulani killer headsmen. At this point, yeah. Somebody says, President Buhari in action. Let's get set. You are supposed to be the security of your life. Huh? I don't even. Please. Somebody says, where is Amotekun? Wow, that is to be honest, Amotekun, I don't know. Is it like an official? Obviously, I know it's an organization, whatever. But constitutionally, do they actually have a right to step in these kind of situations? Somebody says they are fighting for their rights in this President Buhari administration, and they have been given a right. Security has become the duty of every Nigerian. Advice taking. Wow. Another person says it's time that Buhari resigns. Well, everyone has been, talking about how incompetent he is. He's not replying. I don't even know if we know his whereabouts. I mean, he has not addressed the nation properly on, how the government plans to move forward. It's just sad. I mean, we have to practically bully, call for international help, do the most to get our president's attention. In fact, even the Ghanaian president gives us more attention than President Buhari, which of course is embarrassing, and it's just very, very sad to see. But again, I feel like we have to plan for 2023, get our PVCs. The education of the people offline, I think, is sort of the biggest challenge, but that has to happen. I think that has to happen. Nigerians can do it. The money is there. I feel like we just need to drop our selfishness and just actually be together, and of course, try to make the people offline as well see. Obviously they're the ones who are most vulnerable to being duped and frauded for their votes. But I feel like 2023 we have to prepare for that, so we can actually make really good changes, to be honest. And I feel like, yes, we need to be strategic so we can be able to fight these people. So to be honest, what we can do right now is just to stay safe and be strategic about where we go and our whereabouts. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.